We begin with a major development in the Churchill Falls forest fire. That fire has now jumped the river, forcing remaining personnel to evacuate the town.
That's right. It is the news officials were certainly dreading, and they say conditions are not favorable for the next 24 hours. The highway from Labrador West to Churchill Falls is also closed, and there is a power outage in the region. NTV's Beth Penny has tonight's top story.
Unfortunately, we've just got word that the fire has jumped the river, which is what we were trying to prevent. It's what we were all hoping wouldn't happen.
It's been the #1 fear, and now the growing wildfire has jumped the Labrador River, putting the town of Churchill Falls in further danger. Just following this afternoon's briefing, Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro announced that teams on the ground in Churchill Falls are now safely evacuating the area in a phased fashion.
There's really 3 levels of evacuation plans, as I understand it. One would be the current, where there's 80 to 100 people there on watch, on guard. The second would be where only essential employees remain while watching the fire and the fire dynamics. And the third would be full evacuation with remote capacity potentially available.
Some of the operations at the Churchill Falls generating station will now be done remotely. CEO Jennifer Williams says there was a preemptive decision made yesterday to reduce the plant's load in case a decision was made to evacuate some staff.
But it is limited operations, so I want to be really clear that we don't have, it's not the same as having a control center, that's the one that's normally at the plant, copied into Happy Valley Goose Bay. It is very limited operation. But if you're not modifying the operation of the plant for customer load, it's okay to have that very limited operation. So we're working with our customers to make sure that they know that they are going to have limited ability to vary their load or their draw on the plant right now.
Officials say the wildfire got more aggressive as the day progressed, moving from a Category 2 to a Category 4 by this afternoon. Officials say if the classification reaches 5 or 6, water bombers won't be able to safely fly.
We feel like we're appropriately resourced. It's just Mother Nature needs to give us a hand and give us some rain and let the humidex change and the wind patterns change.
A province-wide fire ban is still under effect. This as a phased approach to the evacuation for the workers at the hydroelectric plant in the town of Churchill Falls is underway. Beth Penny, NTV News.
Tonight's weather.
Brought to you by your Atlantic GMC dealer. Get 0% financing up to 60 months on select 2024 GMC Sierra trucks. Plus, eligible Costco members can receive a $1,200 bonus.
So once again, a very serious situation unfolding near Churchill Falls today.
Absolutely, and I think, Eddie, you have an update for us?
Yeah, I've been paying attention closely to the fires burning in Labrador and more specifically Churchill Falls all day. And obviously, the risk today was the fire was going to spread explosively, and that's essentially what is happening right now. And there's a few reasons for that. One, it's warm in Churchill Falls right now, 24 degrees is the air temperature. It's about 10, 12 degrees warmer than any day we've seen for the last several days, so conditions are certainly better for the growth of the fire, or worse, I should say. Wind speeds right now 22 kilometers per hour, generally from the south-southwest in Churchill Falls, which is fueling the fire, needs the breeze, needs that oxygen to help with the heating and get the explosive growth going, which is exactly what we've seen so far today. On top of that, the humidity is pretty low at about 31%. So you combine these 3 things and you get the potential for explosive fire growth from an already started wildfire, and that's exactly what we are seeing around Churchill Falls today. Now, in Beth's story, you heard a wildfire rank number mentioned. And basically, there's a wildfire ranking system, and it goes from rank 1 to rank 6. And this fire, generally for the last couple of days, has kind of been between rank 4 and rank 3, and maybe at times even rank 2. Lots of smoke, not a whole lot on the go. But today, with the warm temperatures and the breeze, the fire is clearly exhibiting now more extreme behavior, and potentially is a rank 5 or rank 6 at the moment, which is extreme fire behavior. And judging from some of the pictures of the smoke I've seen from the last little while, it looks like that's exactly what we might be seeing. Now, this is the view from the Churchill Falls Airport, and hopefully some of those cameras there you see that are in white will populate here eventually. And you can see lots of dark, thick gray smoke in the area right now. And I was actually just talking to the Premier not long ago, and what the Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador said, Andrew Furey, said to me just a couple minutes ago was the evacuation in Churchill Falls is effective and it's complete, and the government is monitoring the fire, but it's very concerning right now because, as we know, the fire has jumped the river. It is burning at a level 5 or 6, and with that, the water bombers cannot go after the fire. So that is the most concerning thing right now. This is what the fire looked like earlier today around 4 o'clock from the air. Look at all the smoke. You can even see some of the fire burning right there, and you can see the clouds have almost that orange hue to them, indicating there's likely a lot of heat in that fire. It's burning very hot, it's burning very fast, and for the most part, it looks like it is kind of traveling from south-southwest to north-northeast. However, there is some nuance to that. I'll get into that in just a second. Here are the fire locations in Labrador right now. Again, we're concerned about the ones burning near Churchill Falls. As we can see on the visible satellite imagery, lots of fires on the go today as well. And what I'm trying to draw your attention to here is not the one near Churchill Falls, but all the smoke that you see down here. All those fires that were lit grew explosively, and the one near Churchill Falls is exhibiting the same behavior. This is another view of what the fires look like from satellite today, and this satellite can actually pick up fire temperature. And all the fires burning in Quebec and the southern part of Labrador are easily detected by the satellite imagery today, meaning they're all burning very hot. And the one near Churchill Falls was also detected before clouds moved over and obscured the satellite from being able to actually see it and potentially pick up the fire temperature. But again, what we're looking at is this fire burning just to the south of the Churchill River, the Mount Hyde Lake fire, just under 1,600 hectares in size as of the last update. There is the town of Churchill Falls. Now, what this does not show you is the actual perimeter of the fire, and this is an estimate of the fire's perimeter. It's here in red. And you can see it looks like right in here is where it jumped the Churchill River, because this here is the Churchill River. And the fire is likely being blown by the winds from south-southwest to north-northeast up towards the airport. However, with the fire exhibiting extreme behavior, you will get some lateral spread of the fire to the east and also to the west. So this is the most concerning thing right now, because as the fire is moving this way, it's also spreading to the east in some capacity. How much, I'm not sure. That is why the town of Churchill Falls is completely evacuated right now, because the fire is exhibiting some predictably unpredictable behavior. And really, we're not going to know where the fire is until we get an update for you. Now, the good news is that with respect to the wind, it will change, but not until tomorrow. So what you're looking at here is the 3-day wind forecast for Churchill Falls. So the arrow will show you which way the wind is blowing towards. All right, so right now the wind is blowing kind of south-southwest. It stays that way all night, and the wind stays up as well. I know we're getting into a little bit of geeky meteorology here, but watch what happens tomorrow afternoon. The wind switches back to northwest or almost north and gets a lot lighter. Temperatures will also cool down as well. That will actually help significantly in the fight against the fire, as it will eventually be blown back on itself. But we've got another almost 24 hours of strong southerly winds and mild temperatures, which is going to make the fire continue to burn, continue to grow, and very, very challenging to fight. On the other side of it, there will be some rain, but again, not until tomorrow afternoon. So there's future radar. There's the rain working into Churchill Falls by midday tomorrow. By 5 o'clock, still raining in the area. Hopefully we get a nice deluge of rain to really put this fire, or at least a damper on the fire, until the wind changes. But even with a little bit of rain, I don't know if it's going to be enough, but hopefully it is. Rainfall forecast, again, roughly 5 to 15, 20 millimeters on the higher end of the scale, but some of the computer guidance is less than that. Euro RGEM models 10, 15 millimeters of rain on the way for tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. That would be extremely, extremely beneficial in help against the wildfire. Now, it's pretty much all I can tell you right now for the fire. We'll keep you updated as we get closer, and it does look like temperatures in Labrador are going to get a little bit cooler as we go into Thursday and Friday, which certainly will help as well. And there also is the potential for some significant rainfall coming this weekend, but that's this weekend, still several days away. So as I get more info on the fire, I'll try and pass it along to you. I'll have my next forecast coming up in a few minutes on the evening news hour. Tony and Mike, back to you for now.
Thank you very much, Eddie.